Hey, NG Medic here, and we're going to do a campground tour of Lake of the Ozarks State Park, and just a kind of a site tour as well. We're actually passing the horse stables currently. There's a couple of them here. Anyways, this is Lake of the Ozarks State Park. If you're looking it up, it can get kind of confusing. There are two Lake of the Ozarks State Parks. They're all Lake of the Ozarks State Park. So this is called Public Beach number 1, Lake of the Ozarks State Park number 1, Public Beach number 1. And then there's also Lake of the Ozarks State Park, which would be Public Beach number 2. And I need to change my camera angle just a little bit for you guys. There you go. And that is over glaze in Osage Beach. This is technically in Kaiser, Missouri, if you were to be technical about the location, and it's actually in Camden County, but previously we were in Miller County until we crossed this line right here. So that can get a little confusing. This is Lake of the Ozarks State Park and Public Beach number 1, and it's the only state park out of the two that actually has camping. So Public Beach 2 does not have camping, they just have day use beach area. Anyways, if you're coming to Lake of the Ozarks State Park, you're likely coming to visit Lake of the Ozarks, which is our lake here. And you're very likely going to come in on one or two roads, just depending on where you're coming from, and it's going to connect you to some smaller roads. And that's going to be Highway 70. And we're going to go to the Marina first because I'm rambling. It's going to be Highway 70, likely if you're coming from Springfield, Branson, Arkansas, down that way. And then Highway 54 is going to be your other main highway that you're going to come in. And 54 runs right through Osage Beach and Lake Ozark. Anybody coming from Kansas City, St. Louis, they're going to go on Highway 70, probably likely to Kingdom City Junction, hop on 54 and shoot down here to Lake of the Ozarks State Park. And then you're going to come in on Highway 42 out of Osage Beach and Kaiser onto Highway 134, which is the highway that actually brings you to Lake of the Ozarks State Park. And it's about 5 miles down 134. So starting out here, this is the day use area, and like I said, this is Public Beach number 1. It's a sunny, 85-degree, pretty windy day today. There is a good bit of beachfront down here. There is a pavilion area for usage. You can reserve it if you'd like. Just going to kind of do a drive around here. We are local to this park. We only live about 15 minutes away, 10 minutes away. So we do come here quite regularly. If you look down there, you'll see some picnic tables. And from this location, a little tip if you like to fish, you actually have 2 fishing docks down there. You can't really see them in the camera, but straight down there you got 2 fishing docks. Area closes at 10 o'clock. Unless you're fishing, then you can use it all night long if you want. I'd like to do some night fishing for catfish down here. You're also going to have a park on your right hand side. And like I said, you do have a beach down there at Lake of the Ozarks State Park. Okay. Some nice rocks. It's actually really pretty. So one thing that you guys need to know, I want you to think about if you're coming, just a little bit. If you're coming to the Lake of the Ozarks in the springtime and winter, is we have the lake draws down. So we're on a bunch of dams, we're on a system of dams here, and they do draw the lake down during the winter time. So right now, it is pretty shallow. Areas that are normally water covered are quite shallow. The shoreline's pushed back multiple yards. I mean, I'll show you guys when we go to the campsites, you'll see what I'm talking about. So if you think right now you're going to come here and camp and get a waterfront site and fish off of your dock or fish off the bank at your campsite, that is not the case. So if you look over here, we're now coming to the boat launch. Same thing to remember. Now I've launched deep haul 23-foot boat from here, but you cannot do a large boat in the winter and fall. So I couldn't have launched my boat currently. So you have the Marina, as you can see right here. But you can see how low it is. Alright. You get $5 to launch. Your launch fees, yeah, $5 up to 30 feet. It is a pretty nice launch. You do have a gas dock here, usually up until about 5 o'clock during the season. This is a no swimming dock here at this portion. You just see how low, how super low it is right now. I mean, the dock's not even floating. So just be mindful of that. If you're bringing out a fishing boat, you should be fine. But it's a nice dock. Usually the water is obviously up to the piers there on the dock. Okay. So we're gonna drive around the front now to the front entrance of the campground. And this is Lake of the Ozarks State Park. Area attractions, things you guys might want to come see. Bagnell Dam Strip, pretty popular place to grab a beer and some drinks, right? Fishing, we're known for our fishing around here. Got all types of fish, anything you can imagine, really. Bass, largemouth, smallmouth, white bass, crappie, bluegill, catfish, blue cat, gar. I like to catch some gar. If you come down here, I want you to look at the gar fishing, and if you decide that you're going to go swimming in this lake, just look at the picture of the gar. We have spoonbill as well. They do spoonbill snagging, and it's actually spoonbill snagging season right now. I am not a spoonbill fisherman myself, but please come here, and before you decide to get into the lake, look at the gar. They're not going to hurt you, hopefully, but they are kind of scary looking. If you fish long enough, fish long enough, you'll eventually have one try and snag your lure. Especially if they're like one of those little rooster tails, right? They'll get their little teeth caught up in the feathers, and you'll have yourself a gar. So just be aware of that. Don't put your fingers in their mouth. Trust me, look it up. It'll be interesting. If you've made it this far in my video, let me know that you looked it up and what you thought. Alright, so that was the Marina area. We're going to take a right-hand turn here. Now driving in, you're going to have your facilities. You got a dump station, shower, swing set. There is a auditorium here. To your right, you're going to initially have your camp store. You're going to have woodlot. You're going to have your laundry facilities. You'll have a map on the right-hand side that kind of gives you some area information, and your check-ins on the left. Of course, I've already checked in here. Staying the weekend, but it got so windy I had to cut out early in my pop-up tent camper. So you got your campground host on the right side when you first come in. You're also going to have clean water on your right and dump station on the left. They do have full hookups here up to 50 amp sites. They also have basics. Okay. So when you're looking on your map in relation to the camp store, campsite number 2 is on your right. If that gives you any orientation. Okay. This is going to be a very mixed lot of camping types. You get a lot of tents here. You get a lot of fifth wheels, motorhomes, bumper pulls, pop-ups. Real mixed use on the camper type. A lot of families and kids. Your sites, you're going to get 24 here. That's a pull through. 25, 26. All these in this area look to be pull through sites. You get some restrooms. You also have 2 yurts on site. You've got that playground down by the beach, and then you've also got, I believe, 2 other playgrounds. You got one up here in the 20s, and you got one down where I'm staying, and those are both next to shower and bath houses, which I'll go in and show you guys. Okay. Now we're getting into an area of all back-end sites. One thing I like, if you stay on the edges, so don't get yourself in the middle of the campground, just stay on the edge sites, is all the sites are backed up either to the lake or the woods, so you get some good privacy, even if you're kind of close. But they've done a pretty good job of not having you up everybody's rear end, so that's good. Across from Site 47, you do get another trash can, some drinking fountains. Keep on going here. It's kind of confusing. It's a little bit of a maze if you've never been here before, so just pay attention to that. 48 is a pull-through 50 amp. So like I said, the middle sites aren't bad, but I like these outer edge sites. I really do. Get nice wooded areas. Obviously, it's the springtime right now. I already said that. So we don't have a bunch of leaves on the trees yet, but it's getting there. Okay. Another feature that this place offers, that the Ozarks State Park offers, is a lot of hiking trails and those equestrian trails as well. So you could come here and hike all day long if you wanted to. So we're getting down to my favorite sites, and those are in the hundreds, and that's the ones that are next to the water. And you see how on the right hand side there you get people in hammocks and tents, and then just come up and get a motorhome. So it's pretty great. Another trash can next to 72. I don't want to stay there if you don't want to be right next to the trash. And in this area next to 72, you also have another shower house. Okay. So now we're going to, so if you were to follow this around here, you go to 81 to 97, and you'd actually finish the loop to get out of the park, which we'll come back up that way momentarily. We're going to go to the right, which is the lower portion of the campground, if you will, and the ones that are by the lake. 102 is kind of nice, but it's going to be high traffic, right? Because it's where everybody's pulling through. You get a lot of one-ways here. Just be aware of that. If you're pulling your camper in, especially at night, it can get a little disorienting. You have some one-ways. But they have the one-ways in such a fashion that if you follow them, your butt end will be towards your campsite the way you need to back in. Okay? So none of these sites are going to be pull-throughs. So starting down here in these hundreds, 108, so on and so forth. These aren't pull-through sites. These are all back ends. You see on these outer edges here, you get sites that are wooded. And then even in the middle, they're not too bad. They're just, not butted up to the woods. So you've got neighbors behind you and on the side of you. So that's good to remember. Okay. And you're just going to have to look and see 50 amp, 30 amp, and then just basic sites. Here's your bathroom and your amphitheater. Now if we go straight, you're going to find your way back to the Marina, where we just were. It's a big old loop. So you don't enter one way. You also have another dump station over here. So 148 to 157, go to your right, and then 134 to 147, you're going to your left. Now, something to note, I like to know when I'm staying at a basic site, is where are the water spigots. So right across from 134, you get a water spigot and a pit toilet. So your prime site at this campground, honestly, if you're wanting right on the water's edge, they're going to be these 139 up to like 170, I believe. 139, you're getting a lot of room. But look how far back that lake is. That's 2 football fields. Okay, usually it comes right up to the grass here. So we're definitely on the drawdown. You do have some non-electric sites down here, just some basic sites. Okay. The way they do the one-way, it kind of reduces traffic. They let you know which campsites are going down that one-way. 158, it's pretty nice. You're not getting a lot of grass though at 158 if you have dogs. We have dogs, so we always got to consider that. 159 is a handicap site. And you see, you're getting a lot of grass area. Okay. Yeah, just look how far back that lake is right now. This is typical. So it's 160, 161, 162, and 163 is where we stayed last night. There's my camper. I really liked 163. It was nice and grassy. You can see the sights, and then they shoot straight back. So you get a lot of grass. I liked 163 for the fact that there wasn't a bunch of trees around it, so my dogs didn't get tangled. That was a basic site, though. 163 was basic. But there was a water faucet right across the road, which I thought was pretty awesome. Okay. Get real cool cliff faces and everything that you're camping across, so it's real nice. Get some family campsites as well with two pull-ins. And if you want to come right to the end, these are all basic out here. 174 is right at the edge, and if it were not the spring, you would have water right up to your campsite. Okay. So all these in this area are going to be your basics. 177. Oh, a really nice one that I'd like is right here. 178. Now just remember, you're kind of far from a bathroom at this point. You got a pit up here, but you don't have the showers or the playground. So if you got kids, a little far from the showers and the playground. Okay. Yeah, any of these over here I really like. Nice playground. The playground down here in the 100s, it's got a slide, monkey bars, 2 sets of swings, one for the kiddos, and one for the little kiddos, one for the little kiddos, one for the big kiddos, right? I'm going to go up the hill here to finish out this tour. Lakeview Bend Trail, blazed in blue. You're going to get 101. I don't think that's a horrible site. It looks to be a basic as well. But you're going to get a lot of traffic because everybody going down to the lower portion is going to be going through there. Okay, so now we're back to the upper part of the campground, Lake of the Ozarks State Park, Public Beach number 1. Again, we're in Kaiser, Missouri, for being technical. These sites aren't bad. 84 here. 85, 84, 85. You know, they're a little close together. 87 is not bad. '89's a pull through. Right across the water. It's a 50 amp. Hey, I figured it out now. The whole 50 amp. Should have had that squared away at first. Costs $13 for a basic side. I think you have a $6 administrative fee. And I promised you guys I'd look at the bathrooms, but there's a lot of people at them currently, so we're not going to do that. They're nice. You get showers, individual stalls, toilets. They're clean. I mean, it's a state park. That's what you would expect. Okay. I'll go in and try and take some pictures and add it to the video for you, as long as there's not a bunch of people. Yeah, just pay attention. As a whole, you're not going to have a lot of problems if being on top of people. If you look at the online, you're now 46, 44. 44 is another handicap site. You're getting 50 amp service here too. But if you look at the website, you might get a little nervous because it looks like all these sites are on top of each other, but they're really not. There's a whole lot worse camping situations to be in. But if you're looking and it's like, oh, these green dots are touching each other, it's not really the case. Most of these are spread out. Okay. Here we go. Got you some tents up here. Another nice playground. Site 29. If you got kids, tell you what, they can have a whole heck of a lot of fun at the playground. Happy people. Let's nose in here so you can see the playground real quick. Okay, and there's two of these. Here's your playground. Randy. So you got your swing. It's got the little baby swings and the bigger kid swings. You got a slide over there. Some benches. Real nice. And then you have a bathroom. Another shower house. Also where they will tell you to go in a tornado. I've been here in a tornado before. And they say, go to the shower house. Back it up and move on. If you're visiting the Lake of the Ozarks, as far as food goes, Sergio is my favorite Mexican cuisine. Walk and roll, great Thai food, really good. You've got a couple McDonald's. You got a couple McDonald's here. Just be aware that here at Lake of the Ozarks, not everything stays open very late. You think being a party area, it would stay open late. That's just not the case. We're coming up on a dump station here. We're going to circle around back to that other camp playground. But anyhow, so you don't have places staying open through the night. Walmart closes, I think, at 11 or 11:30. Hy-Vee will stay open 24 hours during the summer. And you're about 15 minutes from Hy-Vee here, driving at a regular rate of speed. Maybe 10 if you drive a little faster. You do have a gas station about 8 minutes from this exact location in the town of Kaiser. So just be aware, you're about 10 to 15 minutes from places to purchase goods besides the store here. I was talking about food. So places don't stay open extremely late here at Lake of the Ozarks, except the bars. So we got Walk and Roll, you got Sergio's, Outback, and it's a chain restaurant, but I tell you what, they got a pretty good Outback here. Jeffries. Jeffries is going to be a great place to have prime rib. You need to call in, probably get your reservation. They've got the best prime rib. Really good. Jeffries. You got a Jimmy John's here. You got Wendy's. There's an Arby's. What else? Steak and Shake. All your normal fare. Walmart, Hy-Vee. Again, in that 10 to 20 minutes, especially if you're going to the other side of the lake. Then you got the Lake of the Ozarks Strip, like I said, which is a bunch of bars. You also have the Malted Monkey with a Sky Trail for the kids. You got Minor Mike's for the kids. You also have an old school arcade on the strip for the kids. Pretty great. So there's a lot of things to do. Boat. Got like, what, over 1,000 miles of shoreline? Something ridiculous like that. So you got a lot of that. Jefferson City is about 40 minutes away from Lake of the Ozarks, or Lake Ozark itself. And Columbia is about an hour and 20 minutes. Springfield's about an hour and a half. Hour and 45. About the same mileage as Columbia, but it just takes a little longer. St. Louis about 2.5 hours. We got family there. So anyways, this is a nice campground.